I have a yoga studio called Yogic Truth. I'm a registered yoga teacher as well as a registered personal trainer. So I love the practice of yoga, especially nowadays when you can work from home. Thank you for inviting me to your living rooms or to your bedrooms, wherever it might be. This is a 15-minute practice, mostly in seated positions, where it's really geared for all levels. So I hope you enjoy this class. Let's start off with our sitting position. So I am seated in a simple cross-legged position. So please focus on checking to make sure that your pelvic bones are in line with your knees. The purpose for this really is to make sure that your back can relax enough. So most people are used to sitting in a chair, and this might be an awkward position for them. Right now, my knees are in the same level as my hips. If they were a little higher, because I would be tight in the hips or my lower back would hurt, I would have to raise my my hips to be in line with my knees. So that's an important thing. So pay attention to your form. We'll start off with the right position, and we're going to close our eyes and take 3 deep breaths. So go ahead and take your attention inwards. As you take the breath all the way into the belly, let the belly expand, the pelvic floor, the lower back, the rib cage, the mid back, and the chest and the upper back. And exhale in reverse direction. It's important to start your practice in the right mindset. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to start the practice by opening the shoulders and the upper back. So let's start with the hands on top of the shoulders, elbows touch, and we just make big circles as we go all the way back, keeping the neck and the head in line with the spine. Elongate the spine as much as you can. Pay attention to your form. And release. Now we're going to start with simple shoulder rolls around and back. Elbows are relaxed and loose. Now we're going to lead with the elbow around and back. You'll notice this is a different opening for the shoulder. And now the full arm. Excellent. So now a neck opening, a nice neck, simple neck opening is to take your hand almost behind your back. So it looks like this. You're walking your hand up your back. And then take your neck to the opposite shoulder and bring your chin down and up. You might have to move your chin just to find the perfect stretch for the neck. Your 3 big neck muscles are connected to your wrist and your fingers. So once you find the perfect stretch, hold it just for a few seconds. And if you want to make that stretch even longer, you can have a tiny, tiny push on top on the side of your head. And let's bring it back. We're going to do the same thing. Take our hand behind the back. opposite shoulder, maybe chin to the shoulder. You might have to find almost like the perfect stretch. Might have to adjust. It's an internal feeling. You'll know when your neck feels the most stretch. And then if you want to even extend that stretch even more, stretch the neck a little bit more, not too much pressure, and release. So we're opening the shoulders, the neck. The next thing I want to do is, so if you notice I have two blocks, you don't have to, if you don't have blocks, don't go out shopping for blocks. You can just use a box. You take that behind the head, just adjust it to the side so that when we want to do our seated twist, we can just take our hand and rest it on that. So starting in the front, we're going to extend the arm above the head, feel a nice stretch, and then take that hand behind, elbow relaxed. So if you notice my back elbow is bent, and I'm going to open the palm and push it against the other knee. So twists are all about lifting, less about turning than lifting. So you want to inhale and lift, ground your sit bone and lift, as if there is a string on top of your head and somebody's pulling that string up. And then from that space that you created, you can turn. Breathe. And let's bring it back to the center. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, moving the block a little closer to the side on the other side. Lifting, getting that nice stretch through the side body, and then taking our hand back while still facing the front. Open the palm, the other palm, and take it to the outside of the knee. So inhale and lift, exhale and twist. And when you're lifting from your sit bones, right? You're pushing down on the sit bones to lift. Turn the belly a little bit more. Look towards the back shoulder if it's available. Keep that back elbow soft, bent even. Yes, bend the back elbow and turn. One more breath. And let's bring it back to the center. Now I want to do a side body stretch. So first we're going to do a lift. So notice when I'm lifting, I'm not bringing my shoulders to my ears. At the same time that I'm lifting, I'm dropping the shoulders. And that's when you really feel the stretch in the entire torso. Let's bring one hand to the side and just extend that stretch. Extend that stretch from your fingertip all the way to your sit bone. Don't let the knee lift. Sometimes our other body parts want to help. So just keep that knee down and turn. Bring it back to the center. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Lifting one arm, bending, and turning sideways. So notice when you're turning, you're not turning with your whole body. You're keeping the torso in the center. You're only doing the side body stretch. Very good. So one thing to warm up the spine, it's a rib cage, kind of like circulation. Same motion we get with cat-cow. So we're going to do the cat-cow later. So as you inhale, turn the body towards the front. Exhale, round the back. Same motion as cat-cow, if you know what that is. If you don't, later on we'll go through that. Inhale in the front. Exhale in the back. Inhale in the front. Exhale in the back. It's a torso rotation. So pay attention that your sit bones are down the entire time, right? So let's go ahead and reverse the direction a little bit. Make sure you're leaning all the way back, leaning all the way forward. All right. So now we're going to go to cat-cow. So with the cat-cow, I prefer to have a blanket under my knees to protect my knees. So it's really up to you. Blanket, I know everybody has. Again, don't go shopping just for yoga blanket. There's no need for that. So get yourself in a nice square box. And you could even have your toes down in the back or bring the top of the toes down. It's really up to you. Notice that, so these are the moves to avoid. You don't want to reach out, and you don't want to have your knees too far out, right? You want to have your knees right underneath your hips and wrists right underneath your shoulders. Nice square box. And you're going to start with a pelvic rotation. So push your pelvis back, roll your shoulders around in the cow. Inhale, exhale in the cat, bringing the pelvis forward, dropping the head. Inhale and exhale. The side view looks like this. Do this a few more times at your own pace. Take your time. Make sure elbows remain straight the entire time. Okay. Let's come back to neutral position. So neutral with the pelvis, with the belly. Keep the core engaged. Come to to the top of the toes. Engage the toes. And then let's go ahead and extend the right arm and the left leg at the same time. So this is a core stabilizer. This is, all of us should be able to do this. Make sure you're taking opposite arm and leg, not the same arm and leg. That would be very hard. Exhale as you bring the knee and elbow together. Inhale as you extend out. Exhale. Inhale. Five times on one side. We're going to switch sides. And extend opposite arm and leg. You can bring your toes down in the back just for a stabilizer if you need it. Exhale as you bring the belly in and out. Very good. 5 times on this side as well. Now we're going to stay in the same position and open up the hips. So we're going to open the knees a little bit wider. And then we're going to do hula hoops with the hips, moving the tailbone, starting with clockwise rotations. Go ahead and exaggerate those circles. Now we're going to do reverse direction. Again, side view might look like this. Now we're going to really exaggerate those circles and sit on one side of the heel and really stretch the side body. Full circle, forward and around. Elbows are soft here. circles in one direction. And we do 3 circles in the other direction. Coming back to neutral position, we are going to do a few more things on the floor here. So if you are familiar with some parts of the vinyasa, we do kind of like plank and push-ups. So we're going to do that on our knees. So as you extend your hands more forward than the cat-cow position, I want you to feel like you're getting a downward facing dog. I call this the puppy pose. So you want to still take the hips back, but still continue pointing towards the ceiling. Don't take the hips all the way to the heels, and have the top of the feet on the floor, and just get that nice stretch through the spine. Be careful that you're not dropping the rib cage too far low. You're just keeping the belly in and keeping the rib cage in the right position and getting that nice stretch. So as we are in this position, this is like downward facing dog. This is coming forward, shoulders over the wrist. This is like our plank. And as we lower ourselves into what they call girl push-up, we come up into up dog, get that nice stretch through the lower back, and all the way back. So this is an alternative for the vinyasa. You can always start as a warm-up this way. Let's do that a few more times at your own pace. Shoulders over the wrist, lower yourself slowly, and come up and through for the up dog. This is a very important pose. If it does hurt your lower back, you know how to make adjustments, and then lower yourself all the way back, extend the child's pose. And one last time. Inhale up. Exhale back. Get that nice stretch through the lower back in your extended child's pose. When you're sitting back, you are technically in extended child's pose, not puppy pose. Coming back to neutral position. And all the way down. Okay, so let's grab our 2 blocks. We're going to do a little bit of hamstring stretch. So as you come up to your knees, go ahead and come up to your knees, hands to the pelvis. We're going to do the extended mountain here. So as if your knees are your feet, you want to get yourself grounded, lift the arms, grab the opposite wrist and move sideways and really pull on that wrist. Have the palm facing down, turn. Let's switch to the other side and turn. Good. Now, hands down. Let's bring our blocks right next to the hip bones. And you're going to take a very big step forward, farther than you think. And now you're going to kind of like move from the pelvis forward. So this is what not to do. You want to really move from the pelvis. So chest is still open, shoulders are rolled back, and you're really leaning forward. Look at my back thigh as if I want to touch my back thigh toward the floor. This is an excellent stretch, not just for your lower back, but also for your glutes and your quads. So as you extend the arms, if it's available to you, go ahead and extend the arms, but keep the shoulders down at the same time. And then if you want to look up, it would be more of a back bend. Inhale and lift. Nice. Now we're going to grab the blocks and push back on the knee, on the hip, on the pelvis. So one thing to avoid is being lopsided. You don't want to be lopsided. You want to kind of be even in the back in this position. This is an excellent hamstring stretch. Notice my toes are off the floor. So you can, it's a little bit easier to concentrate on the hamstring if your toes are off the floor. If you bring your toes down, it's more of a shin stretch. Hold. And now let's just go ahead and move forward and back a few times. Again, as you come forward, chest comes forward, shoulders roll back, the spine is straight here. As you push back, you bring your maybe body closer to your knee, to your leg, whatever is available to you. Some people might even grab those toes. It's really up to you. It's more of a hamstring stretch that way. And a third time. Coming forward, shoulders roll back, feel that stretch in the lower back. So avoid coming forward only with the upper body. Keep the upper body back as you come forward with the entire unit. And back. Very good. Now I'm going to bring that foot in and take it all the way to the side. This is an excellent stretch for the inner thighs. So as I point my toes to the side, I want my heel to be in line with the knee, and then I extend it. And notice I'm not leaning sideways. I'm really standing up straight on the standing leg, right? So you already feel that stretch in the inner thigh. Optional are toes up or toes down. For most people, having toes up is a little bit more relaxing. So this is not, of course, about being relaxed. So as you open the arms, this is the opening of the gate. Turn up the palms and down. Bring your wrist in line with the shoulder. Yep. Nice shoulder opener. And then you're just going to lean to the side. Just let your hand land wherever it lands. One thing you want to make sure it happens is that your knee stays straight and your standing leg stays straight. So lean a little bit more. Bring it back to the center and bring that foot in. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So if you do have a block and you sometimes want to use that as a prop, you feel free to do that. So as you take your leg to the side, make sure the standing knee and hip is straight. Hip needs to be in line with the knee. And then the extended heel needs to be in line with the knee as well. We're going to open the arm, turn the palm up and down a few times. And then opening of the gate, Parigasana. You're just going to lean to that side with that side body, right? Torso still stays in the middle. Breathe. And let's bring it back. And let's finish this all off with a nice extended child's pose, opening the knees nicely, wider than your hip level, and taking the hips all the way into the heels as you stretch deeper into the lower back. You want to breathe into the upper back. Nice deep breaths into the shoulders, upper back.
and slowly bring yourselves back.
We close this seated positions in the same position that we started, in a comfortable cross-legged position where the knees are in line with the hip. And hands to the heart center. We're going to take our attention inwards one more time. Taking deep belly breaths as the inhale through the nose and the throat and the chest expands, the belly expands. And exhale in the reverse direction. I thank you for watching this video. I will have consecutive videos coming up with different body parts. Thank you very much.